Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. iPhone Javier SK. Glad to have you guys here so far. Give it a couple minutes. Everybody check their phone, their computer, get logged in, and we'll get started. If you guys have any requests, put them in the chat like usual. SMR. I think that's a new one to chart. Definitely take a look at that. So far, I got Google from Norvin, SMR, NVIDIA for me, Microsoft. NVIDIA's in a nice spot. I definitely want to go over that one tonight, but we'll see how many requests we got. Classes for you guys, not for me, so we'll just roll through what we got. But let's see who trickles in here, and we'll get started in a couple minutes, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. PLTR, I can definitely add that to the list. I think we haven't done that one in a while. I think we still got some charting on it though, so I think it's just been grinding up all-time highs again. So we'll see where it lands. But yeah, a couple good requests. George, VST and Lulu, are you in those and you're bullish, or you want to be bullish? You're looking for an entry? Let me know in the chat, just so I can kind of. Well, shoot, we don't have a whole lot of people tonight, but I guess that's the way it is. More time to go in depth, I guess. But 16250. Nice. All right, I'll write that down. All right, guys. Well, welcome in. Glad you guys are here. For those that are, my name's StartedWith, one of the staff members here. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's dive in. Let's get started. Right now, the chart you're seeing is the 1 hour chart. I just want to show this first before we dive into SPY and the S&P and QQQ. This is RSP. And this is an ETF, just like SPY, or it is the SPY ETF, but this is equal weighting, meaning all the 500 companies are equally weighted within that ETF, within that basket of stocks. And if we look at this, not saying be bearish on SPY, but this is showing us that the recent run in the last 1 to 2 weeks, well, at least 1 week for sure, we'll just say last week, that is all basically tech heavy. You know, your QQQs, your Apples, your Nvidias, stuff like that. This is showing that the rest of the market is not really participating right now, or not participating all that well. So this is the equal weight S&P 500, and it turned it down. It made lower lows every day last week. And so this is, if you guys go look at Tilio's newsletter, hopefully you guys are reading that to get some knowledge. This is kind of what he's talking about, you know, breadth of the market, other participants, so to speak. This is exactly what we're seeing right before our eyes is, you know, it's just a few names as of now pushing. So if we look at SPY, you know, SPY's pushing up, but it's a few of the big names, it's the big players in there that are making these moves. And so that's why he keeps hinting in his newsletters that, you know, play the upside when it's there on SPY and QQQ, but just be cautious, because if those names in QQQ start to slow down, go sideways, go down, along with, if we don't get any rotation, along with all the players in the S&P, that's when we can get that pullback. And that's kind of what we're seeing on RSP is the equal weighting. It's like no one's really participating last week. You know, we were down, it's not a big move, but we were down, you know, 1.5% last week. Okay. And so there's just something to watch, you guys. I think you should add it to your watch list and just kind of keep an eye on it to say, hey, you know, because there's a lot of stuff, especially on Twitter or, you know, whatever the comment section is, if it's Robinhood, if they got one, or Webull, it's like, you know, this shouldn't be going up, or why does it keep going up? And it's like, you know, keep an eye on RSP, you know, and just say, hey, is this rally everybody, or is this rally just kind of a few names? And so right now, that was last week. It was just tech heavy, QQQ really pushing up. Because I think, or I know XLE had a really tough week, and XLF had a down week all week too, last 5 days. Okay. So we know financials are not doing that good. We know energy sector, oil stuff is not doing that good. It was just a tech heavy rally last week. And so again, one last time, keep an eye on RSP, you guys. It's a nice way to gauge kind of the overall market sentiment and where we're at overall. Okay. But with that, you guys, SPY, S&P, again, another week, another new all-time high set, you know, seems to be the story every single week. So the best thing to do, you guys, and, you know, we got a little bit of retracement, a little bit of chop or range, I guess you could say, from last week. And so for me, my focus, I'm going to zoom in here in a minute, guys, just to get you guys some levels here. But for me, my focus, you guys, is kind of this zone here this week. So this little shaded area. And so I think there's someone in pro chat, or maybe it's regular trade floor. They're asking me about, you know, can SPY retrace to, I don't remember what they said exactly, but lows of the week or something like that. And I kind of mentioned, just pay attention, you know, basically the 607 level here. Again, not saying they're just blind bearish, but when we have a level like this, that, you know, I would say break over, watch the reaction. So these are each, I'm on the 1 hour chart, you guys. These are all 1 hour candles. And so, sorry about that. So when you see 1 hour candle bodies closing, this is 607 basically. So we see a sell to it, but no follow through on the close of the candle, and a big buy back up. Okay. And a big push, you know, and then 608, we kind of stalled out. Well, guess what? We come back to 607. At the end of the day, on Thursday, we sold through, but guess what? Next day, bounce back up. So what do we do? And you guys, we're creating, you know, right here, right now, we're creating a range. And so definitely this top zone here, definitely would be extending that. And if I can get a bottom trend that makes sense, I will do so. But we have a very nice range going into next week, guys. Me and my lectures, I prefer stuff like this where we kind of know our top, that 608, 609 zone, and we can even argue, we can draw like a zone like this if we just want to look at in that aspect of zones. And so we kind of know this is our top and we know this is our bottom and a trend line. And so for me, early this week, whether it comes Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know, but this trend line, so mark this trend line, you guys, if you guys are taking notes or take a screenshot, and then the 607, because again, we may see an open here, a little bit of chop, sell down, and like I always say, you watch this move, but you don't take puts here, you don't take puts here, and you wait and you take puts here at support, and then what do? We bounce again, and you get totally wrecked. We bounce something like that or something like this, and you guys are in SPX or SPY. You don't want to see that, and so you guys always have a plan. Always start out the plan. Always have your charting started, okay? And so for me, if you guys want to do it kind of a dumbed down version, you can literally just set an alert like this on any brokerage you're on, and you just say, hey, I'm going to wait for 607 price action. I'm going to wait for it to break. Maybe it does or doesn't, or bounce, but I don't have time to start the market minute by minute, candle by candle. I'm going to set alert here, and maybe this top zone here on SPY as well. And if we open in the middle here, just you can take the trade, ride the wave, or follow flips or river, whoever it is, and ride up into this zone. But just know this 608.50 into this 609, tough spot. That's a big rejection, okay? Or write it down, but just remember, trim, and for me, I would be all out until we break under, okay? Any questions on SPY, you guys? Any questions at all, put in the chat. If not, I'm gonna move on to Qs. Nothing, all right. QQQ ended on an all-time high, so QQQ is a little bit different. So for me, basically, how we open like this, all you can really do on new all-time highs is you just catch a trend if you're bullish and you just write a trend. Or if you want to be bearish, for me, I got to see a trend breakdown. Okay, so a trend line here, and now we're break, and now the EMAs are overhead. Okay, and so that's all I'm really going to do on Qs. I kind of have this alert set here because I seen us first part of the day, mid-morning, a little bit of a hard bounce there. And so what do? I set an alert because if we came back down there during the day, Friday, which we never did, I want to see what happens there. So that's my plan tomorrow is on Qs to help people out. Just either ride the trend, ride the EMAs, or this little structure right here. Even though it's only one day, there is volume here. Okay, and we treat this as support until it's not. And so until that breaks there, if we open anywhere here, I'm not bearish right here. There's no way I can be bearish. We have all these candle closes right here from Friday. Again, it's only one day. There's not a ton of volume, but there is volume here. We can't ignore that. So if we start getting double bottom bounces here, I'm looking to play calls off that. We sell through that. We start rejecting. Definitely take some puts down into here. If you got a little bit of time, you can trim or whatever. You can make this price target 1, profit target, whatever, and grab this down here. Or if you're in 0 TTs, that's definitely a spot I would be selling all and waiting. Because you can catch this move the first 10 minutes of the day. And if you're up 60%, yeah, there's 5.5 hours of left of the trading day, but like, why hold a full position here just to get bounced and give up 30%? It's like sell everything, wait for a sell below and a bounce up and get re-entry, and you ride the wave for a second leg down. Okay, you guys, there's a lot of stuff in chat. There's a lot of stuff in Games tab that I'm suspecting that people are not trimming at these big zones here, whether it's calls or puts, and it's like, take your screenshot after you sell. That would make me feel a whole lot better. I see a lot of screenshots of positions that are still open, and it's like, I have a feeling people are holding for whatever percent gain this is, and they're cheering, and then they log off, they go to the bathroom, or their boss is talking to them, they check back, and it's like, wow, I was up 65%, I'm only up 30 or 20. Okay, if we catch this move early in the day, sell it or at least hold one, and then we got all the rest of the day to play that price action. Okay. What level? Norvin, are you talking about Qs, Norvin? Sorry if I'm late to the chat. If it's QQQ, yeah, that's my I can get some, but yeah, it says 542.42 basically. And I'll put it in my my tab, you know, like I do every day this week, just for a watch list. But definitely that, and then he might be talking about this zone here. So let me get these levels here, make sure it's accurate. I'm just trying to eyeball here. Give me a second, I'll zoom in for you guys. All right. So yeah, a zoomed in look. We got all those candle body closes. So I guess since we're not here, I would probably do this with my alert and just say, hey, wait for this to trigger below. And if we sell below it and we start rejecting, this is my zone until it breaks. Okay, this is my zone until it breaks. And this is my top. Maybe we blow off the top tomorrow early. I don't know, but look at, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after hours 5, 6 candle body closes right there, 526.50 basically. That's our top until it's not. You know, you can take calls right there, but like I always say, the market does not care if you want it to go up more. We have all those candle closes there. Maybe we break out, maybe we go, but if you're taking a call here and reject here and you don't know why, look left. I always say look left. Big level there. Okay. Questions on Qs? Doesn't look like it. All right, to your watch list. Norvin was first with Google. I like this name. I need to zoom out and remember why I like this name. I wrote it down. And he sent me a DM. He was wanting it, so that's good. Let me go to I think it was the 4 hour. Yeah. Google, it's got this little nice thing going on right here. I usually like more touches, but let me see if this, I don't want to ignore wicks, but yeah, we'll just leave it. All right, 2 clear touches there in a wick. On the bottom, it's a little more defined, a little more confidence, I guess you could say. Google's setting up, okay? Price action is tight, so I'm on the 4 hour chart right now, you guys, okay? So purely from, there's a trend perspective and then support and resistance. So I also like, just looking as I'm talking through this, I like this zone here. And why did I pick that zone? So a zoomed in look, you guys, just for some charting knowledge. I look at candle bodies where they close. I look at wicks, where are they at? Okay, so we got this big wick here on this 4 hour. Okay, got this price action here, pre-market, and now we got all this zone here. Okay, so basically 177 decides early tomorrow. Probably, I mean, if we're opening where we're closing, unless we get a kill candle down in the morning, that 177 is a spot to watch tomorrow, very early. Okay, so again, a closer zoomed in look. I'm gonna go to the 30-minute here. Same thing, same game plan. That, you know, once 176.87, basically 177. So if you're bullish, you want this breakout, and you want breakouts to hold. And I'm not talking a 5-minute hold. I'm talking 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour on the day. Or in breakout retest, get long, stay long on that name. But again, don't ignore this Friday or Thursday wick there. You know, that's a big rejection on this trend line. Okay, so if we start pushing up, you know, if you take calls right here at the open, assume we open where we close, and you take calls here, and we start doing this, like, that's probably your sign. You should probably take some sell some calls. Okay, I always say, I don't care if you're up 80% here or 8% or 5%. You sell where the chart tells you. If we push up and we're rejecting, seller, just sell. Take your profit, get a breakout. There's no reason you should let it push up, come back down to entry, and then go red. Okay, that's horrible trading. Okay, chart out your plan, have a plan. If this breakout fails, again, whatever percent, you know, I'm just making up a number, 20%, just take it. Okay, it's a Monday morning, first trade of the day. Take it, stack the gains and move on. Send alert. If we get the breakout, fine, play the retest on this level. But don't just hold, let it go back to break even and then go red. That's really stupid trading, okay? On the flip side, if that comes down to this level here, you know, we can play the downside down in this zone here. So Google is in a very nice spot early in the week. Assume we don't like just gap up and it leaves without us. But good job on Norman. I like this name a lot. Price action is going to get tight. So maybe a breakout right away, maybe rejection. We play this zone for 2 or 3 days, and then that big move happens. But a move is brewing. I don't know when it comes. I don't know how long it consolidates, but something has to give. Blow off the top or sell through this trend down the bottom. Okay. SMR, that was a share play. Yep. All right. Let's take a look. SK. Ooh. All right. Let me mark a couple levels on a lower time frame, then I'll zoom out, see where the heck we're at. Just because I've never charted this, I want to give you some good perspective, make it worth your time. Just eyeballing it. Give me 1 sec. So again, I'm grabbing wicks. I'm looking for candle body closes. I'm looking for moves. When we get over a level, is there continuation? So we get over this level, continuation. Under, sell. Under, sell. Okay. We're at a very important spot right now. I want to get a couple top levels in, and then kind of worst case scenario on any weakness here. Just one more. All right. Let me check and see if we're this all-time, I think this all-time highs, SK, right? Yeah, probably. Okay. We got some stuff to work with. That's all right. All right, share plays for SK. Always love me some share plays. So a chart perspective and percent. So I don't want to tell you to hold for a support if it's like 30% away, but oh yeah, 10%. So you guys that come to my lectures, you know when I get into a share play, I don't enter something. So if I enter at a support, I want to know that the next support is 10% or less away. So I'm never going to enter just hypothetical. I'm never going to hear at 25.8 and say this is like 80% down. Like I'm never going to hold and be like, oh, there's a support down here, but it's 80% away. Like I never trade that way. Okay. So what I just did, you just make a line and you just go, okay, this support here, does it make sense? Yes, it's 10 to 13% away. Okay. That's doable. Next target upside, is it worth our time? 7%, all-time high, 23%. Okay. I like this trade. I like it for a couple of reasons actually. So for me, this is your spot to enter, but not enter full. I made the thick line for you, SK. So 25.81, I like this if we hold here. And again, it's a share play, so I'm not talking a 5-minute time frame. I want to see pushes up. It holds either like, you can let it sit a full day and maybe get a share try on Tuesday or whatever. But if we hold this, we can see, ignore this sell down here. We can see what happens. When we get over, it's kind of where the sellers or the bears give up and we push for continuation. Under that, though, we kind of see, okay, when we sell through it, buyers kind of give up, okay, and we sell through and we trace 10%. So for me, how I would trade this is I would do a starter position. So say my position size, not number of shares, but position. So say it's $1,000. I would probably get in with $400 to $500 a half position, okay? If we push, I trim, because I trade the chart, okay? You can't be greedy. You can't just say, oh, it's only 8%. I trim on the chart. I trim, and then we break over, and then this retrailing stop. For me, this is probably like a 5. If we break over, that's like a 5% trailing stop, because remember, this was like 24% up here. So if we start getting 10%, 15, this isn't going to be exact, but you get the point. We're pushing, trailing stop, 15, 20, and then 24%, okay? Even though I'm in a half position SK, I still take profit, okay? I never start full because I don't want to go red on a full position. And then I'm like, okay, do I hold this support? So for me, how I trade shares, I do a half position and then maybe we start seeing rejections. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a half position. I'm not freaking out. We're coming down here. It's a support. So I can trust that. And it's a realistic, stop out if I have to. Worst case scenario, I'm losing 13%. Okay. I'm not taking a 90% loss on shares ever. Okay. I'm stopping out when we break support. So for me, if we trickle down in here and we start doing this, bouncing consolidation, sell through, bounce, okay, add your second position, add your second half. So now you're in at 25.8 and you bought down at 23. So now you're dollar cost is probably somewhere around 24. Okay, so now we start pushing up. This is where it gets fun. So now you caught the bounce. Oops, I don't want that. Okay, so let's just say our position is 24 now. Okay, sell up here, 8%. Next target, 14. And guess what? Leave some runners, 33% on shares all day, every day. I will take that. So it's a very nice setup. And this is your daily 20 moving average, the green, and your 9. So they're about to cross and curl. So even better, if you can get a push up and this curls under and this curls under slower because it's a slower moving average, now you have a support, one form of a confirmation, 2, and then you got your other moving average. So 3 forms to hold. Okay, I mean, like when you catch a trend like this, that's what I'm talking about. So if we catch that bounce here, we catch that trend, absolutely. What time frame? Good question. What time frame do I catch for a share play? If it's something I know, and if you guys have seen my charting, when it's a key, when it's an important level, I will make the line thicker. So if I have an alert, this is just like it uses less brain power because trading, you guys, like you're looking over here, you're looking over here, this is happening over here. Like to me, if I see an alert trigger down here on SMR and I see a thick line, I go, that's a big support. I should probably take a look at it. Or if we push up here, an alert goes off and it's a thick line. So I use line thickness and then I also use larger time confirmation. So again, I've never charted SMR before. So you see what I did. I went to the weekly to see where the hell we're at. All-time highs, that's fine. And then I break it down daily in 1 hour, or daily in 4 hour. And so I look for, very important levels, and I literally just set an alert. So like, I actually do like this play. I'm just gonna leave this alert here. If we trickle down, I might nibble on some shares here or some options, if they're, if they got liquidity for them. But I literally I chart it out. I don't chase, and I define my risk. I just set an alert, and that's what I do. Or you can even set a buy order. I'm not gonna set a buy order on this because I don't know the name that well. But if it's something like Apple or Starbucks or PayPal stuff I trade a lot, yeah, I'll put an open order on PayPal at 80. If I know 80 is a big level. Okay. George VST. That's Norman's baby. Let's see. I think you mentioned something in the chat. Let's see. 162 calls, swing down 30%. All right. Got some charting here from Norman the last couple weeks. That's good. But now we got a little more to work with. All right. I'm on the 4-hour chart here. Let me go to the 1 hour just because that's kind of my bread and butter. Hang with me here while I zoom out. Get some levels. Let me know in the chat how far. Let me see. 162. George, what date expiration do you have on those that you're down 30%? Like this. I'm just grabbing some lines here, guys, just for quickness of class. Just so we can keep the class rolling. Don't spin. Want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered. All right. I'll wait for you to answer if you got time on the chat. 162.50. Okay, your strike is realistic. You're down 30%, but all hope is not lost, brother, because we got some levels to work with here. Definitely like that level. Definitely want this level here for sure. All right. So you're down 30%, but purely from a chart perspective, it's decent where we're at. Okay, I don't know if it expires this week or you got 2 months time, but so this yellow, or excuse me, this purple dashed line, that's my daily 9 moving average, daily 9. Okay, that's underneath you. So that's one form of support. You have a trend line, 2 forms of support. You have a support here at 158.36-ish. December, perfect. Okay, I like that. Okay, 158.36 is support, and your daily 20s coming up. So a couple things are or can happen here. This is going to go up like this. This, if we consolidate, is going to be more of a flat line, but we're probably, I mean, if we gap up, that's great because we're looking for a push here. But there's trouble here. This 162.4, again, regardless how bad you want that breakout to come, there's just all this price action here, rejection, rejection, rejection. So for me, I don't know what percent, we can talk later in DMs. If we break this trend, I'm not loving it. And then if we come down into here, I don't know what percent more that would be down for you, but this has to hold. Okay, whether you have, December, January contracts, for me, this chart here, like I play the levels, and so if we break this support and we break the moving average, the daily 9, like to me, that is going to signal more selling pressure down. Okay, and so it's in a tight spot. It's in a weird spot, kind of like that Google. Deciding day is probably going to happen Monday or Tuesday for you. So just if we sell through some levels, just for me, I would cut the loss and move on. Like it doesn't matter how much time you have. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, but don't get married to trades. And if you see a support hold and you're in calls and it's like, well, I could have cut for, let's just say 40%, and you could have gotten puts and puts go all the way down here, and instead of cutting for a loss and writing the puts down, you're holding your calls down, just hoping, support broke, I'm just hoping. It's like you could have cut this for, let's just say, $200 loss, took some puts and make up all that money, and you're gonna wipe your hands clean and not even worry about that trade that was a loss. So trade the chart on it. I hope it pushes for you, that because if this breaks out here over 162.4, it's going to move nice. It's going to move very nice for you. I'm glad you got a little bit of time on it. Not a ton of time, but it is doable. Okay. Going in order, PLTR. Oh man, all-time highs, huh? People are trying to short it still. Yep. Thoughts on it? I don't have many because you got to ride the trend, but I will show something that I'm sure it stands out, and those are Bollinger Bands. Ask River or look it up, but it's basically a statistic. That's a tough word for me, sorry. But when we get out of the upper band, which will be red, just kind of take a peek at that. Okay. So purely from a B band perspective, let's just look back in time. When we get out of the red band, we see consolidation, we see sell back into it. Get out of the red band, you can chase puts, we finally sell back into it. Okay. Out of the upper band, you got smoked on puts, chasing, finally gets back into it. Okay. Huge close out of the daily upper band. Okay. So yeah, it's going up, but that is risky chasing calls every single day without a back test. Javier that asked that. Okay. I know people want to short it, but basically, if you're trying to short this rocket up, you basically get lucky, or you be a smart trader and you wait for a pullback of some big levels. So how do we do that? Okay. Let's go to some intraday time frames. Okay. So all-time highs. How do we trade this? Okay. For me, a quick, easy one-line chart to get us going is basically a breakdown of this Friday zone here. Okay. Why does 76 matter? We break out kind of pre-market, we push, and what do we see on these 1 hour candles here? And a little bit of a breakout in a day and a little breakout after hours, but let's look at those 1 hour candles. It's a little bit of indecision. So we're pushing up, no breakouts. We're selling down, no breakdowns. Push up, no breakdowns. So for me, trade around this 76, Javier, whether you want a day trade or a swing. To me, in the immediate level is 76. That's all that matters. Okay. Because if we keep it opening here, it's like you're trying to go short. It's like, well, people tried to short the whole way and they're just getting smoked. And so 76 for me, it's tradable tomorrow if we open under that. If we sell through 76 pre-market and we retest it, take your shots with caution there on puts at 76, because you have this little zone here. So those 1 hour candle pockets right here, we know if we break over, cut it. Okay. You're risking a 35-cent push up in the stock for, at minimum, you're coming down a whole dollar. Okay. We talk about risk reward. That's your risk. That small area. Your reward is this big area, hypothetically. using air quotes, okay? So for me, nothing under 76. You want to be even safer, wait for it goes under 75. Maybe I'll set an alert just to short this hog if it breaks under. I'll leave that there. I don't trade the name, but just maybe, okay? So we've seen when it gets out of those B bands what it does, okay? Oscar, wait, let me make sure. PLTR, okay, NVIDIA. I'm just going the order. I see them in the chat now, guys. Nice request. I like this, you guys. Let's go the 4 hour, okay? NVIDIA, nice move off these lows, you guys. I know we tried this level many weeks, many months ago, and look, it still is making a move. And you know my charting, a thick line. What do? We pay attention to those zones there. So basically, that 140.78 to 141 pocket, if that comes into play early tomorrow, I will take puts into it, meaning if we're selling down, puts into it, but I'm selling my puts here. I'm not starting a put position here. No way. Maybe we sell through, I don't know, but I'm not starting position there. Or if we open around that, that's with caution, that 141, that 140.78, that's where you take your calls bounce with caution. Again, 10 minutes after the open, the worst thing to do is to just full port something and we slice down, and instead of cutting for a small loss and taking puts, you're holding calls like a bad trader. Don't say an idiot, don't want to be mean, but so very big spot here, Oscar. So couple scenarios, couple things are gonna play on NVIDIA. So if we open, you know, where we closed, let's just call it 142 for speed of class. If we open over the close, that's a bullish sign short term, and you take calls into 142.83. Okay. And this is a bigger range, but you know, you can see it can make it in a day, no problem. But you trim heavy at 142.83 because you know that was a support, now it's resistance. Maybe you had 5, you sell 3. Okay, you hold 2 and you just ride that wave up, Oscar. Or any opens here, if you're seeing rejections, you expect to see a candle like that on puts and you sell through it. If we break over, you cut your puts. So there's several ways to trade this name this week, NVIDIA. I know a lot of people love to trade this name, but a couple huge levels. So definitely, I'm not bearish into this level, but again, doesn't mean, you know, take calls without a stop loss, because we can slice through this. If we get hard pullback in the market and we sell through that and that triggers, that's going to trigger a hard sell. If buyers give up there, that's probably going to sell the rest of the day, I would assume, because that is a huge level there. If we look left on past price action, we can see if I zoom out. Okay, this is the 4 hour chart, you guys. And I bet we could probably argue, we can even slap this a little bit messy, but you know, rejection zone, rejection zone. So, you know, it's slowly making recent some lower highs here. So, excuse me. Norvin, I'll get to yours. I just want to try and make sure everybody gets one request in. I don't want to skip people, but I see your request, Norvin. Square. SQ. Haven't played this in a while. I got some charting. Interesting. Bullish case. All right, I can do that. Let me start with this here. Going to do some more charting up here for you. Oops. I definitely want to be grabbing these tops here. If we fail a breakout, where's our next support? Definitely that big ass wick right there. Is it a round number? Yep, pretty much 96. Love that when that lines up. Definitely. We're gonna make that thicker. We're gonna go the daily. We're gonna see if that 96 matters, guys, just to kind of show you some charting. Because I don't think this is all-time highs, because this is a beat down name. All right, all I'm doing, guys, I'm just zooming left. However long it takes, I don't know, because I want to see if these levels make sense. Okay, and they do. So we are at 98.25 right now. Well, let's call it 98.42 just for the class. So we're at this second to the top line here. Okay, so we can see this journey that Square has made since, if my charting is correct, May 9th, 2022. Let me double check. I didn't miss it. Yep. All right. So just back in time, you guys. So square is back into this zone here for the first time, this zone here. So they wanted a bullish case. For me, a blessing is a back test to 96. You absolutely take calls. It may be a down day, but you take calls. If we trickle into that 96, that's where you buy the dip or you try to buy the dip. But if 96 gives out, don't hold forever. I don't care if they're February contracts. Like you play what the chart is showing you. Okay, so just a quick look back in time from 2 years ago. This price action here. Okay, now zoom to present time so I can give you a game plan and kind of why the method to my madness. Look at that big bounce there. That was just Friday. Is there buyers still there? Absolutely. Okay. Very nice setup. Potentially. If you're a bull and you want to be, which is good because I like this setup, we need a couple things to happen for us. Nope, don't want that. Sorry. Just looking here. I'm gonna go this here because I got 1, 2, 3 touches versus if I come down to here, I only have 2 touches. So again, kind of like those other charts, you guys, a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a pin it action, but to be bullish on, yeah, bullish entry, any breakouts, any trend line holds, and any breakouts over and holds of 98.42, I buy the dip. Okay, again, we can come down as long as it's not like a kill candle through it. You know what I mean? Like if we come down and we're bouncing, you buy the dip here and you sell here. Again, you sell all but one and you leave a runner and you ride it for this breakout to those. Again, that price action we looked at, you guys, that was from, what did I say, May, 2022. That was a long time ago. Okay. And the chart still makes sense. The line still makes sense. Okay. Any sells or any opens kind of under this trend line, and you can do 2 things. You can take puts, trim, trim, absolutely trim, or you can wait your turn. Say, you know what? I don't like buying puts for whatever reason. I'm just gonna wait and watch. And you set an alert. You wait for it to trickle in. If I see any sort of double bottom during the day, or we sell down, we consolidate, and then Tuesday we open at this level. Yeah, take your calls absolutely on Tuesday at that level. Again, it's psychologically for new traders it can be hard, but it's like, okay, it's a down candle. Why am I buying calls? It's like, think of this as a Black Friday sale, and this is a TV. Do you want to buy a TV at $98 or $96? Yeah, it's $2, but you buy stuff on sale. Okay, that's probably a shit analogy, but you get my point. You buy stuff on sale, so you buy stuff at support to get the bounce to take max reward. Okay, you don't wait for this whole move and take puts there. Okay, so I kind of like this setup here. It's going to get decided earlier in the week, kind of like everything we're looking at, but definitely breakout. If we get this breakout over 99.46, guess what? 100. That's a psychological level. And look where it rejected Thursday at the penny. Well, damn near that wick there, the opening wick. Okay. Cassie, if you're still here, we got Reddit. You're up. Okay, I'm just trying to give everybody a chance. Let's see. If you're still in here, Cassie, let me know. Let me know what you want to do on this name. I don't want to like give perspective you don't want, but I think, is this thing all time? Yeah, because Reddit's new, right? This is probably all time highs. Absolutely. All right. Couple things I see, couple things I like. To me, if you want to short it, I'll wait for you in the chat. But again, just like PLTR, you guys, it's not really shortable until we break some consolidation zones. And for me, it's a guessing game until we get into this zone down here. So I'm not assuming you want to short it, but I'm just gonna get some levels going because these can play. We can back test this for some calls as well. That's a $3 range. That's doable. We could probably even slap one in the middle because there's a lot of candle body closes right in the middle there. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the bullish case first because it's the easiest. Our daily 9 is creeping up, and so if we see any sort of consolidation here in this daily 9 and this daily 20, you absolutely, as long as this zone here, call this demand, call it multi points of support, whatever you want to do. As long as this pocket holds here, I can't. You can day trade puts into it, but if you want to be like a swing trader, like this has to break down. This range has to break down, even though it's only 1, 2, 3 days as of now. I can't swing puts until I see like a big level confirmation, because people swing puts and they'll bounce at support. Back, why we bouncing? Well, it's support. Okay, the buyer just, you know, we don't have the ability to move the market in any which way. Even our whole Discord server, we can buy something and try and pump it. We don't have the power to do that. Okay, so we're just writing big money, and right now big money is not done buying this. And so any back tests into the zone, buy calls, any opens, where we close, just again ride the wave, ride your EMAs, ride the daily 20 moving average. You just ride the wave for more, because buyers are not done buying this, and that's just the way it is. Doesn't matter if you want to go short on it. We don't have the ability to make this go down, so we just ride the wave. But if that breaks, we can see that sell pressure here. When that little zone breaks, that's why it can't be short until that, because we can see when we break and reject that, sell pressure, sell pressure. When we get over, buying pressure. Okay. Sushi, good to have you in here, brother. Hope you're still here. XLF as a sector, it's a mixed bag, man. Because I think JPM is the big name in this sector. I don't trade it, not just for any reason. I started trading Bank of America and Citi, and that's just kind of my bread and butter. But definitely, look what we got here. Got the daily 20. You think moving averages don't matter? 1, 2, 3-day bounce? Absolutely. You think moving averages don't matter? Rejection there, pre-market. Okay. This might be setting up here. Let's see if this lines up. No, I don't want that. Yeah, any holds of that 50. Yeah, for me on XLF, it's really this consolidation and probably this trend line right here. If this breaks, and again, this is not a big move, it looks kind of big on the chart, but I think we come back and test that 50 at psychological level. Got some big wicks, some big action there, but a little box there, yeah. We're probably going to come back in to that zone there. So we can see that consolidation, a little bit of sell pressure when we get out of it, a little sell pressure when we get out, a little sell pressure when we get out. When we get over, boom, big move, bounce up right there. Yeah, I would just say play this little trend, Sushi, if you're still in here. This 3-day little trend here, and then you could probably argue the last 2 days. There's probably one on top that the buyers are fighting. Yeah, so that's deciding day for sure. And as far as bank sector, it's some of it's kind of a mixed bag. I kind of like where some of these names are. I'm probably gonna run out of time. If you're still here, 47 is huge. Basically, I mean, every penny matters, but 46.93 is a payday for me on BAC, Bank of America. That's what I'm focusing on this week. If I see something, I'll alert it, if it makes sense to. But I'm watching this week on BAC. That 47 zone, it's struggling to get back over, and continuation moves. And so if that breaks down, I'm not saying I'm just mega bear because I don't like banks, but it's like, to me, I'm looking at the chart and we may leg down a little bit. Same with Citibank, a little bit better chart. 72.5 is trouble. 71.19 is big money for call bounce, but kind of in the middle zone. I don't like Citibank as much. Although if you guys see my watch list down here, it'll be now a weekly put option. The weekly 70 put. I follow, I don't know who it is. Obviously, I don't know who it is, but there's a buyer that buys like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 contracts of these weeklies. Not every day, but I basically keep the flow open and watch this dude. And he bought these 70 puts on since we're talking about it, why not? Let's see how many they bought, because I don't remember. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna go to a 5-minute. A little bit of a tangent here. Sorry, guys. Hopefully I can find this because I'm talking about it. Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So it's the options chart. Ah, shit. Oh, one of these days I'll be good at Thinkorswim. Man, I just screwed it up. Sorry, guys. Where the heck are we? Well, we don't even know. Friday. There we are. This big spike in volume. They bought 7,500 contracts, 7,500 contracts. Okay. And as of now, I need to check the open interest. There wasn't a big closeout. There's a little bit here. But they bought in Friday. And as far as I know, they're still in. And so I guess just the reason we're talking about it, yeah, I kind of want to keep an eye on that name there because, yeah, maybe we sell through. I'm not saying they're always right, but they've been right a lot when they buy in. And that's kind of when I alert those on my tab is I'm kind of just riding their coattails, following them. But I don't love the chart where it sits. I seen this bear flag and I kind of put it in small port tab because I was watching this. They bought in kind of around here and they didn't get the breakdown. So I'm kind of watching, where we open Monday. Like, do we push up over 72.5 and they sell their puts, or maybe they sold their puts and I'm wrong on the flow. They close them on Friday, but that's definitely a name I'm watching for sure. Right click auto zoom. All right, Jorge, good to know. Sorry, guys, I'm not that good. All right, Reddit, XLF, Apple. I think this is tradable. I had this on my list too. I was waiting to see if someone requested it. Apple 4-hour chart. Okay. New all-time highs. Okay. A little bit of consolidation. This should be a blessing. Okay. We are options traders. I say this a lot. This is very nice. Why is this nice, you guys? Because we buy puts at the top and we buy calls at the bottom. And obviously it's in hindsight, but calls, bounce, puts, reject, calls, bounce, puts, reject, calls, end of the day, bounce, calls, bounce, breakout, but breakout failed ultimately on the day, breakout short term, but sold back down. Guess what? Puts on a break and retest, sell down. And guess what? We bounced it. So Apple, I like where Apple's at. Okay. Any sell through, I'm cautiously bearish on a retest. Okay. I'm not saying full port it because if we take puts, we can see some price action here. Okay. This is a 30-minute, these are 30-minute candles. We can see sell through. And again, this is you're taking screenshots. You're up 60%. Oh shit. Big bounce. I'm back to break even. That was dumb. Okay. So any sells through this 242, who's on Apple, yeah, 242.23. Any sells through short term, I'm not bullish. Okay, doesn't mean we can't bounce, but and then short term, any rejections here, I'm cautiously, I'm either going to wait for a breakout and take calls, but I'm not going to watch a big push into the zone and then say, okay, I'm taking calls now. Maybe get lucky, maybe it goes, maybe we run. But very nice range here on Apple. I like this. I hate stuff at all-time highs. You guys know that. But very nice setup potentially here on Apple. Definitely. But this, because when you see consolidation, that's when the bigger moves happen. So this is just big money, dude. This is just big money, collecting shares, collecting premium, whatever you want to call it. And that's when the big move happens and the big volume day move. Okay. And so Any break and holds over, any daily closes over, yeah, you can swing. But we see, we see this breakdown rejection zone here. Okay. Very nice tradable chart. Okay. You literally can just, there's zones in between. We can get a middle zone here, but our upper and lower extremes for now, that's kind of that pocket I'm looking at. Okay. Boeing, haven't had to hit that one in a while. I think I have some charting here from weeks past. Ooh, a little bit of recovery. Slick Rick, if you're still in here. Interesting. Let's see. Definitely some support here. We cannot ignore this zone here. I'm not going to skip through them, you guys. I'm just going to try and go quick because I know we're running out of time. But definitely, if this 152 holds, definitely calls bounce off that. Any sells through 152, day trade puts, and with caution, again using air quotes, that's an okay signal to swing short because we broke a big level, which would mean, so when I say we break a big level or we break structure, it's like we see the trend up, we see what happens over 152, we get under 152, look at multi-day sell, get under, sell down, and over, multi-day push. So for me, 152, big spot there, and then overhead, that 157 and 158 is tough. Any sells under 152, don't ignore that daily 20. That's going to be creeping up. Okay. You get a hard sell through there and you don't sell any at 150 or 149. That's bad trading. Okay. Never ignore the moving averages. Okay. All right. Let me do a couple that I want to go over, you guys, just because I'm kind of greedy with a couple names here. Starbucks, I think, is Starbucks or Delta. Let me see. Yeah, let's go over Starbucks. Oh, there's Ninja with Tesla. Of course you want it. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, brother. Good to have you in here, man. Oh, and you love Starbucks. Ninja loves Starbucks. Look at that thick line. And look what that number represents, 100. Okay, you think that level matters? Absolutely. It's a psychological number, 100. It's a nice, sexy number. It's 100. It's a round number, whatever you want to call it. And it's support. Okay, so any price action around 100 this week, any pushes over, you take some calls. Any sells under, you cautiously can take some puts. But that 100 is going to be very big this week because we can see, push up. We did get a close over there, a few weeks past. Sell under, push up, reject, push up, reject, push under, final little bit continuation. And now, what are we doing? A little bit of lower high action. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, big deciding day for Starbucks. So I know it's probably not a name you guys trade a lot. You guys just trade big tech and some other names, but Starbucks definitely a name to watch, you guys, because if that 100 rejects and we get like market weakness, you now have a daily 20 moving average overhead, which is going to be resistance, and you have the 100 level. Okay. So, but again, any holds over, you can maybe wait for some continuation, and we're probably going to break, a recent trend line, little thing like that. Be bullish. Okay. You can even catch some swings if you catch that move there. A $2.5 move on some swings, that's going to pay big. Very nice move. All right. George, coming back to you. You wanted Lulu. Did you have any comments on it? I'm just scrolling up. Bullish. All right. So bullish setups, and I'll get to Tesla for you, Ninja. So I think Tesla's worth talking about as well. Lulu, 2 days off ER, a little bit tough to trade, but not impossible. Looks like it's coming back to some price action there. Yep, definitely. Rejected. Wow, to the penny. So I'm gonna draw a line here just to show you how amazing those algos are. So zoom in on the 4 hour. Oh, we rejected. Why did we reject there? Let's zoom left all the way to March 22nd of this year. That level still matters. Look at that. Okay. Wants to be bullish on the name. I can dig it. Let's see. Let's build a game plan for you. So any holds, any back test of 394.59-ish. And I think that's a safe place to dip by some calls. But any sells under, and I just think any sells under, and I think you need to wait for this zone to come back. I know it's kind of some quick charting just for speed of the class, but any opens and bounces here or consolidation multi-day, you can take your calls, absolutely. Or if we open over and you miss this move, a breakout retest of this move, and then leg up for some calls. That's my bullish scenario case, but any sells under this zone, and you just, to me, you just got to wait for this zone here. I mean, there's probably some better price action over there, but I like the name. It's 2 days after ER, so we gotta be a little bit careful, but a little bit tricky. Tesla finally broke, you guys. I was trying to tell people, man, they were like, they're getting along with this 357 and 360, and it kept rejecting over and over and over. And they're like, man, big sell, big sell. It's like, this is a huge, big ass level, you guys. Okay, so now it broke. Awesome. Let's ride this wave. Let's chart a couple lines out because it matters. Okay, because we got to go back to some old levels here. We'll start the daily, see how far back we got to go. Let's zoom left. Pay attention. Let's just wait for it to catch up. And we are back to May 5th, 2022. Look at that 357, 360. Do you see, like, just look at this price action? If this was price action this year, do you see why that was so tough to break over? There was a ton of volume on Tesla right here. Okay. Buyers were trying, buyers were trying, buyers were failing on the daily. Sellers smacking it down. Well, guess what? We broke over, and we break over, big moves happen, right? Okay. When we see a big level, give out, that's when you see the big move happen. That's why you guys keep taking calls at resistance and keep getting smacked down. Wait for the breakout, because when the breakout comes, that move is huge. Okay. So some levels here to play off of. Where are we at now? We're at, 389. So we're up here. Definitely some big zones here. Okay. Now we'll go back to present day. Look right where we closed. It's going to make it a little tricky depending on where we open. I'm on the 30-minute chart now, guys. I'm on a 30-minute. Okay. If we open under 399, what do you think comes next, and what do you think is important? What do we know about psychological numbers? 400 is next, okay? To me, if we open here, you better be careful, because 400 could smack down really hard, okay? Not saying be bearish, not saying dive in puts. I'm just saying with caution, if we open where we closed, watch that there. If we see some early big wick push, some push-ups and big wicks and some big candle bodies, closing kind of like this and a big wick, that's selling pressure. Still here from 2.5 years ago, you guys. Okay. So ideally, you know how I like to trade. I want to see some back tests and levels. I would love this 393.55. Any back tests you can take, because we can take puts into here. Okay. Then take your calls, bounce up to this zone here, hypothetically. Or we sell through, take puts again. Don't be afraid to take puts. Sell through, you better be out of your puts there, because that's a big level there. That's where we close. Okay. So big spot. But any break over and any holds of 400, absolutely. You ride that wave up to the next, next zones here. It's a quick charting. There's lots of levels here between a $5 range. But yeah, big wicks, George, big wicks. Yes. Okay. Tesla, yeah, monster move Friday, monster move. Okay. Don't get caught off guard. If it reverses, ride the wave. Or if we keep going, ride the wave up. Don't short it just because you think it needs to come down. That is not a good trading strategy. Okay. Oh, for Ninja, 411 was pre-split. Ooh, nice. All right. But yeah, so we're getting up to, I'm gonna go the weekly, guys, on Tesla. Of course, I don't have enough time, but yeah, coming some big zones here. Big spot. Shit, is that all-time highs, you guys? I think it is. Is that 411? That's got to be right. That's before the COVID shit happened. Yeah, that's all-time highs. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but okay. So 414.5 is our absolute all-time highs. And so another thing to note, I think Tesla is the last thing, big tech, that did not make a new all-time high this year. Okay. Big spot there. Okay. All right, last one for Norvin, APO shares. Yep, you're welcome, Ninja. Glad to have you in your man. Norvin, all-time high. What's your average? Oh, Viral, good to have you. All right, Viral gets the last one because he's a homie. She's a homie. I shouldn't assume. Exxon. APO, Norvin. I mean, you know what I say, man. All-time high, brother. Gives me pullback, long-term position, 5 to 7 years. APO just added to S&P. All right. I mean, really, guys. I mean, shares or swings, whatever. I need a back test. Not to rush through this name, but for me, I need a back test of some zones. And if you want a dollar cost average into some shares, then you know how do you do that? What do you do? Like if it's long-term hold, you literally chart out levels. You find big zones of movement. And again, I use percents. That's just kind of a weird thing I do. And I say, hey, you know, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Not doesn't, but does it make sense to buy some shares? You know, another 2.5%? I don't know. Does it make sense to buy shares down here at 5%? Maybe. You know, you don't need a dollar cost average every percent, but you can definitely buy in when it makes sense. Okay. Nice. Your average is 80. Hope you trimmed. Exxon, man, energy is getting whacked. I'm salty about it because I missed a trade on Thursday. I think, did I alert it? I don't remember if I traded on my own. I'll get to Exxon in 1 second. Ah, damn it. I just did it again. All right, hold on. Right click, auto zoom. Oh, baby. Look at that. You guys are teaching me something. Love it. All right. XLE, I tried to day trade on Thursday. That rejection of 93. I only got to profit target 1. And I wanted this freaking move, and then it did it Friday at the open. I'm so pissed. All right. No crying. Exxon. Oh, we got to zoom out because it gave up that big 120 level. I haven't traded this in a while. Man, it's just getting whacked. I don't know if that's like a Trump trade, Trump administration, energy sector. Definitely a big level there. Let me see. Viral, they will come sooner or later. All-time highs. What do you look on this one, Viral? Let me know. I can give you a game plan. I don't want to just totally shoot in the foot on what you're trying to do, but definitely a big support here if that's kind of your game plan. It's hard because we've been trying to, or maybe myself only, but I've been trying to catch a nice little bounce in a trend. You know, I'm not afraid to be bullish just on the day on it. And breakouts are failing, but some big support here. But a lot of things are working against it. So I'm on the daily, you guys, and not a lot of good things. There's 4 or 5 things against it, and I'm going to go over those. So broke the green, daily 20, broke the purple, 9 moving average. So you see when we catch a trend, how nice it is on these moving averages, and it broke the 200. That's not good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it broke this pocket here of what I was calling like a nice little, you know, demand zone, you know, big bounce zone. It broke this little pocket. So it broke it. Look at hard sell, hard sell. Okay. Holding calls 120 January. Looking 112. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like this zone. So again, this is a daily chart. I need a quick drink here. Holding calls since 120. They're January. Okay, so that's probably a decent loss. But if you're already in, I'm not going to say just hold, but you're holding. So here goes. This is the spot to average down. So I don't know if this holds today. I don't know if it takes 3 days to hold. I don't know, but definitely if we just look purely at the chart, not a spot I'm buying puts. Okay. So ideally on a zoomed in look, we want to see this hold, and it did Friday, so that's good. So that's a start. Okay. So you're in, you're probably down. So what I would do is it's January. To me, you kind of need to decide, is this trade working for me? And again, I know you're down, but let's just purely from a chart perspective, is the trade working for me? So if you average in here and we bounce and we push, awesome. I hope you get profit. You know, we're on the same team. You know, we want to see people succeed. If you take an average sum here this week and this sells, you know, this is probably the spot to just say, hey, I'm at a loss. It's a deep loss. Maybe I should just cut and start a new position. Just from a psychological standpoint, maybe a perspective standpoint, it's just, hey, you think the bounce is coming, it's not coming again. The market doesn't care what it wanted to do. I was shocked when XLE gave up 93 last week. I was like, shit, that's a big level. And it broke the 200, I think, too. And same with this name. And so for me, if you catch this bounce, you know, we got to be realistic. And so, you know, whatever percent you're down now, oops, you got enough. Whatever percent you're down now, everything that we broke through is now overhead. Okay, so we break over this, that's fine. But guess what? All those things I don't like that are overhead or that we broke are now overhead. So we got daily 20. It's going to be a straight line because it moves slow. Daily 9 is somewhere jagged, and the daily 20 is moving slower. So now you have 3 forms of resistance overhead. And so, you know, do you average down and you're at let's just say you're at 70% loss, 80%, 60%. And now you're up, you're at a 30% loss. Now you got decision time. Okay, you average down, but now you have all these things working against you. And so it's a psychological thing of you're down, you're not down as much. Do I get out and reposition, or do I hold and hope we push up? Which would be awesome. But guess what? If we push up and we start double topping on the 200 and we come back down, you're like, damn it, I was only down 30%. Why didn't I sell? And so you're in a little bit of a psychological game on your red position. And so for me, any holds, take an average with caution, but anything under 112, even if we say to ourselves that's a big support, it should hold, it needs to hold, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just we're following big money and we got to do what big money's doing. And so I would expect to see consolidation this week. Ideally, let these moving averages catch up. But again, I don't know. You know, let's keep an eye on it. Like I said, I was shocked when XLE broke that 92, 93. And so now XLE is coming to this big zone. Again, I want to catch a bounce because I want to be bullish on the day on XLE. You know, I get nervous because I'm just like, hey, puts are not going to keep going, and they just keep going. And so it's one of those things where you catch a knife or you catch a bounce. I don't know, or wait for some consolidation. But this is just a tricky sector name to trade. But with that, you guys, I'm a little bit over. I'm going to end it here. I appreciate you guys. A lot of good questions, a lot of good tickers. Love having the regulars, love having the new people, you guys. But let's have a good week, you guys, again. SPY, quick recap. It's got a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of consolidation from last week. Definitely tradable. QQQs are all-time high, definitely a little bit tricky. So maybe focus on SPY this week, and maybe not avoid QQQ, but maybe if it's at all-time highs, you know, pay attention to flips or river or someone, but maybe lay off it. But a break under 607. Let's see if we can retrace. Again, I'm not being super bearish, but you know, pullbacks are okay. We never get those, so I wouldn't be mad if we got one. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys all being here. No, Vira, you're good, man. Send me a DM if you want to go over some more stuff. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Have a great rest of your night. And yeah, catch up with you guys tomorrow. Later.